Very good evening, everyone. How are you all today? Type down a chat box. Excited if you're excited, and let's start. Fantastic. How many of you coming after a very long time? Type down chat box. Me? Yes. Very good evening, everyone. Fantastic. Fantastic. Lot of people. Okay. Lovely. How many of you want to actually have yourself as a professional in presentation? Type down a chat box. Me. Fantastic. 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 Lovely. So let's start. What is this entire presentation secret all about? And let's jump in. Something which is completely extraordinary, which I have liked about it and which I'm going to share with you. Something on a very fantastic side. So let's start. So, yep. So how to deliver powerful presentations? Okay, let's understand the entire crux of it. How do we actually create this? So three secrets we are going to cover in another 1.5 hour period of time. Number one, power of effective presentation, the science of human psychology and concept of presentation. Are we ready for it? Type down chat box R if you're ready for it. Lovely. Lovely. So, before I go ahead in any of the presentation, let me confess something. Today, I'm going to reveal you something that I have never shared before. Excited of it? Type down a chat box. Yes. Because I'm going to walk on the path that has actually helped me to take myself right from 20 years back to this particular stage. So, a lot of people would already be know me, already they're silver members. How many of you are silver members here? Type in a chat box. If you are a diamond member, type in a chat box D for diamond. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And how many of you are attending for the first time? Type in a chat box first. Anybody for the first time? Sudeep, first time. Okay. Welcome. Okay. So is it okay if I give you a little bit of brief introduction of myself? Type in a chat box. Yes. Great. So I joined the insurance business in the year 2002. And I had a dream of becoming successful. Like everybody would be here having that dream of becoming successful. How many of you have this dream? Type down a chat box. I. Great. I too had a dream of qualifying MDRT. How many of you have a dream of qualifying MDRT? Type in a chat box MDRT. Lot of people, right? Lovely. Along with that, after achieving MDRT, I was having another dream of do massive recruitments. How many of you are recruiters here? Type down a chat box R if you are a massive recruiter. Lovely. Lot of people. Welcome. I had a dream of qualifying international recognitions. How many of you have this dream of qualifying international recognition? Type down a chat box I. I always wanted to give the best to the family. How many of you are here who have this dream of giving the best to the family? Type down a chat box me. This was me in the year 2002. And I wanted to have my own business, to choose a life that I want, fulfill all my dream of life with having no targets, no boss, and no pressure. Very happy to announce that all these things which I have mentioned over here, I'm in a position to actually achieve this. And I've never shared this thing before. I used to give tactical things, but today I'm going to share that entire exact path that has helped me to reach over here. How many of you super excited about it? Type in a chat box I. Okay. So there were some things that were there in my mind, which I would definitely come across while I was going through it. So three things that I did in that particular time frame, which helped me to reach at this particular stage. Number one, I did some research why people fail to achieve the best presentation. why people fail to achieve the best, uh, at the end of the day, becoming the great successful person in life. The first thing was that. Second, I learned from my mentors. And third is practiced what the mentor said. These were the three things which I did. Now, while this entire thing looks very simple, there are a lot of things that happen in between. The first thing that came to my mind, that is to do a research about why people failed to achieve the best presentation and why people fail, in spite we say that insurance is one of the best moving industry, having a great growth, but why not most of the advisors are not able to achieve the life of dream that they desire? How many of you have that question in your mind? Type down a chat box me. So, the search of the road paths when the search of the road starts when you have question in your mind. And that's what was there. So before I come into why people fail, I want you to show you something which is the scope of the industry. This is India Brand Equity Foundation. This is a research site. You can go through that particular site and see this is the report which is being seen. In April to November 2023, life insurance new business premium grew rupees 2,11,690.65 crores according to Life Insurance Council data. The premium of the month of March 23 for the private insurance industry grew at the healthy space of 35% on year-on-year basis and 20% for the financial year 23. How many of you practically can see the scope of this industry? Type down a chat box I. But the question is, industry is growing with the pace of 20% and 35% and 2,11,000 crores. But the question is, how healthy is my pocket? Everybody is growing. Am I growing? Is my pocket getting full or I am struggling? What's your current stage? Type down a chat box. Struggling. Yeah, write down a chat box. Lot of people struggling, not getting full, good, struggling, stagnant, struggling. Lot of people with that. So we are going to understand that where do we stand as on today's period of time so that we are in a position to see. When I did a research, I understood that people had low level of confidence due to multiple reasons, and these were some of the reasons. Business knowledge. I want you to rate yourself with a percentage, that what would be the percentage of business knowledge out of 100. Write down whatever the percentage that you can, just find it out. What is the kind of business knowledge that we have for becoming successful? Okay, write down in the notebook. We are going to practically do a little bit of, a quiz on this. How much are we aware about the life as a business? Life insurance as a business. We all have seen life insurance. Yes, I have an agency. Now, agency is, okay, fine. I will grow to the level which I want to grow. I'll work on my own terms and conditions. But at the same point of time, I don't know how am I in a position to grow my business. My question is, how good are with our knowledge whereas business? Second, how good are we at our industry knowledge? Insurance industry as a whole, what would be the rating that you would like to give? Everybody, you can type as well as you can even write down in your notebooks. Type down a chat box. What would you practically rate yourself out of 100? What is the level of industry knowledge that we carry right now? Is it possible to be in English and Hindi? पुष्कर जी ये कोशिश कीजिए करने के लिए कि आज के हिसाब से अगर मैं कहूं आपका बिजनेस नॉलेज कितना है, तो टाइप डाउन की बिजनेस लेवल के ऊपर अपना नॉलेज क्या है. बिजनेस नॉलेज मींस व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ risk taking ability do I have? Shiva says 100 out of 100. Lovely. Industry knowledge. Company knowledge. Which company are we working and what is the status in that case? What is the volume of business company is doing? What is the claim settlement ratio? What is the solvency margin? Product knowledge. What is the kind of product knowledge that we have as on today's period of time? How many types of products are there and which product is suitable for whom? Are we struggling to give presentation into that particular manner? Lovely, everybody 80, 90, fantastic. I'm so happy. Sales knowledge. What is the kind of sales knowledge that we have? What does it mean by sales knowledge? I'm going to cover a lot of things about it, about what is, because ultimately when it comes to presentation, we need to understand that presentation is not just only about the product knowledge, but it is a combination of all these things put together, asking for a check or cash. Sales knowledge. How good are we in giving the presentations of sales? How good are we in prospecting? How good are we in closing? What is our click ratio? Attitude. How many of you have observed that everybody has the same agency, but some people, they outgrow the industry and some people, they are still struggling? How many of you have seen the product would be the same, the company is the same, but still the income differs? How many of you can realize that there would definitely be a gap between the two different persons with the same level of knowledge also? That is because of the attitude during the kind when there are sales and when there are no sales. Overall factors matters a lot, absolutely. Now I want you to total everything and divide by 6 and get your average percentage. Type down in the chat box. Yeah, difference in application. People learn a lot, but everybody will have a different ability to practically apply. Everybody take the total of all the 6 and type down the average which comes in. Let us understand. I'm going to give you the marks also on this. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for participating and thank you for being so honest. Thank you for being so honest. So how many of you would like to have a scorecard for it? Type down in chat box I. If you would like to have a scorecard. You know, now there are two types of people. One, who are actively participating. And number two, are just as an observer. And in every industry, you will find the same thing. There will be some people who will be completely observers. And some people who will be very, very actively to learn. What is the scorecard? Number one, if your percentage comes between 0 to 30%, to become successful, you need to acquire deep understanding of all the 6 parameters. If your scorecard is between 30 to 60, you have a great understanding, but you need to identify the gaps, whichever that is puncturing your current movement. It may be a product knowledge, it may be a presentation knowledge, it may be a sales knowledge, it may be business knowledge, it may be industry knowledge, it may be company knowledge. Somewhere, whatever is the gap. How many of you agree that if the gap is not there, the confidence level is so high that you can convince to anybody? Type down a chat box, I. You know what? People see the fruits, but we skip to understand the roots. To get good fruits, we need to work on the what? Type down a chat box. To get good fruits, we have to work on what? On the roots. Now, how many of you are understanding that in the presentation, I am taking lot of your engagements? Type down a chat box I, if you can understand this. So, a lot of people, when it comes to offline or online presentation, it's a one-way communication. And if you have seen in my presentation, every time I inspire two-way communication. You are super engaging. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the reason for presentation is because the person is sitting at somewhere else, I don't have a control on his external situations. Okay. I don't have a control of external situation. And how many of you can understand that the attention span for a person is very, very short? If you can understand, agree to me, type in chat box A. A mobile phone will ting up, ting, and the person's concentration goes on the mobile phone. Somebody is outside, a pet is dancing, and this is what we need to understand, that how better are we engaging our audience, and that is a part of the presentation. Make sense? This is a live training that I'm giving you about how can you increase your engagement in the presentation. That's what we need to learn, engaging the audience. Yes, absolutely. If your scorecard is between 60% to 90%, how many of you are like that? Type down a chat box I. If your scorecard is between 60% to 90%, lovely. Thomas, lovely. Rameshji, fantastic. Muninji, fantastic. How many of you agree that you deserve still better and you have a great ability, but you are not aware what is getting wrong? How many of you are like that? Type down chat box me. You deserve much better. This is what we are going to cover today. And how many of you between 90% to 100%? Type down a chat box I. Anybody with the 90% to 100%? Lovely. If you are between the range of 90% to 100%, the need of an hour is to change the mountain. If you are at one particular place over a long period of time, there are high chances that you can become complacent and stop growing yourself. How many of you can realize that? Type down a chat box I. You need to have constant upgradation of yourself at the next mountain. Out of the comfort zone? Absolutely yes. I'll tell you. So when the person is already at one particular stage over a period of time, the systems are set, he knows the knowledge is better, but in that particular phase, his vision gets blocked. He feels that he has achieved the success, but there is always a better scope at the next level. And that's what we all need to practically think about. Success is a series of peaks and absolutely fantastic, Ravi Rao. That's really great. So how many of you got a lot of clarity about where do we stand whereas our knowledge is concerned? Type down a chat box I. So for the first level of presentation, to get myself confident, I need to be internally strong with all these things. So, okay, it's not just about the product presentation, which is important, but also about the company, the industry, the business, the sales, everything needs to have a scorecard. So I also prepared my scorecard way back in 2002. And at that point of time, I had no idea about industry. I had no idea about business. I had no idea of the product. I had no idea whatsoever. But there was only one dream of becoming successful. And I just decided whatever it takes, I'm going to do that. So the easiest solution at that point of time I took, that is deciding the journey for excellence. Please share the 6 parameters. You can go through later on. Right now, I'm just already at the next levels. Number one, it was like a climbing a mountain for me. It sound very overwhelming. डर लगता था कि ये 6 parameters मैं कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Can I be strong? Somebody said, please repeat 6 parameters. Number one parameter is the business parameter, business knowledge. Number two is the industry knowledge. Number three, the company knowledge. Number four, the product knowledge. Number five, the sales knowledge. Number six, the attitude knowledge. And lot of people are much better than me, because at that point of time, my situation was below 30 and I had no idea. I had no people. I had no ways that I could understand how can I become successful. How many of you are like me? Type down a chat box. Lot of people, right? And I know that pain. I can understand very well. At that point of time, I had two choices to be made. Number one, I had to choose, should I be into that 99% of the category, ordinary business? Because do you know, as on today's period of time, out of 24 lakh insurance professional, only 3,000 advisors are MDRT. How many of you did not know that? Type down chat box DNK. Out of 24 lakh, only 3,000 advisors are MDRT. So where are other people? They are struggling in that 99% category who is always finding excuses for their growth. I had a second choice to choose, do whatever it takes to reach my dreams, to reach at that 1%. How many of you have that killer instinct within you to reach at that 1%? Type down a chat box 1%. No, I always reiterate this thing 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. Because at the same point of time, nobody at me was ever. I told you I'm going to share that story which I have never shared to anybody up till now. It was not easy, but it was my choice to be the best. And that's what drives me in 20 years' time. So that's where I say reaching at the top is not just one-time activity. It is a regular effort. So if anybody over here sitting for a magical things to happen, I'm not a magician in the first place. I know how to work and I know how to make you upgraded on that level. But there is no magic. The effort has to be done by you. Let me ask you, how many of you are serious to take that effort in your life? Type down a chat box, me. Lovely. Fantastic. So this brings me to the second point, that is, if I need to become the student, I choose to become the student of business knowledge, industry knowledge, company knowledge, product knowledge, sales knowledge, and attitude knowledge. I started learning deep on this. And because of this, you can see this product as on today. You know, a lot of people are my silver members, a lot of people are my diamond members, and they all know that till today, I keep on learning, learning, and learning. How many of you are aware about this? Type in the chat box A. No, there is no hidden book from my side. It's completely open and transparent that as on today's period of time also, no matter wherever we have reached in our life, even though if you are at 100%, you still require to get yourself as a student of that particular, craft, rather than becoming master of that craft. So the second thing, that when I decided to become the student of this, so how should I learn? That was my second secret. How should I learn? So the easier way, what have we taught? That is, from the schooling side, we have just come to know, okay, attend some schools and you will get results. So after coming into insurance, the sources that I practically tried to attend, that was started attending the training programs of my company. Okay. So all that particular people, they walk in. Now, tell me, when you actually go and sit into that training program, how many are practically talking about exploding business? Are they more or they are few? Type down a chat box. There are few. How many of you can understand energy is contagious? If you can understand, type down a chat box. Yes. Energy is contagious. So if you are sitting in that particular audience where 90% people are struggling, the conversation that takes place into that particular seminar room is encouraging or doubtful. Type down a chat box. It was doubtful. Because the speaker used to say, try this thing. Somebody at the side sitting, Abe, usko to bolna hai. He just have to speak. What happens in the real life, where he knows. How many of you have observed that? Type on the chat box. I. Many a times, we are the only culprit who is talking like that. Sir, whatever he's talking, that is fine, but that is good, and sitting on the other side of the table. When he is this side of the table, the situations are different. How many of you have observed this? Typed on the chat box, me. So, what was the main thing that they used to say? Whenever anybody senior used to come, he used to talk about the business statistics group, and what he used to say? Meet more people, meet more people. Every day start your day with appointments. Sala sir khujane ko to yahi tha. That was the major point. Where do I get people from? I don't get people only to talk. Talk about your insurance business. Talk about insurance policy. Meet, talk, talk. Meet, talk, talk. Learn from your peer friends. So, this is what happened. There was one person who did 1 crore of a policy way back in 2002. And I wouldn't like to name him. Even though I don't know where he is now, but I wouldn't like to name him. So I asked my manager and I said, wow, man, he did this 1 crore. How did he do? What was the presentation that he did? And, I went there and he just told, go and ask him. I went because I had heard, learn from the peer friends. So I went to him and I said, excuse me, sir. Yes, I'm a new advisor. Yes. I was very happy to see that you achieved this 1 crore of policy. I wanted to know the technique what you used to get this 1 crore. You know what was his answer? What do you think? Are they happy to share? Type down your chat box. So his answer was something like this. So I was scratching my head, man. What is this, man? What is the meaning of this? So I went to my development officer and I asked him, sir, he's saying, what is the meaning? Yeah, I don't know how it happened. It just happened. It's a trade secret. So nobody was ready to share. Now imagine the kind of frustration. You can't have this knowledge how to share. You don't know where to talk. How do you talk? There's only one thing, meet senior managers. Senior manager used to give all that big, 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 big things. And end of the day, the results were not coming in. And it was very frustrating. Because a person who wants to grow and he's not getting an idea, that is the time when all that thing starts. Luckily, I got to attend some of the training programs. And when I attended the training, I came to know the secret. How many of you would like to know the secret? Type in the chat box, I. That's the main problem, how to start. That's right. So while I attended the training program, my mentor told me very beautiful thing. And he said, Amit, remember, in life, when you have to grow, you are surrounded with lot of things. The first thing that you have to work, that is on your skills. So I thought of what kind of skills I need to attain. Again, it backed down to 6 parameters. The second thing that he told, that is always have a surrounding that is always inspiring you. Because they could create selling environment, not buying. That's right. Chandrasekhar says, I have logged under no policy of 13th on single day in a year 1997. I have logged under retire, enjoy concept. Lovely, fantastic. That's really great. So surrounding, how many of you understand that surrounding plays an important role for our growth? Type down a chat box, I. So when it comes to effective presentation, yeah, like-minded people. But if your surrounding is all talking about, I did this, that happened business. I did this happened business. This is what it takes. This is what it happens. And third, he said, that is service. 3S, skills, surrounding, and service. So I thought, what is the meaning of service? How many of you practically get rejections? And when you get rejections, you feel like this is not the type of the business you expected yourself. Type down a chat box, me. So even though the company, the business is growing at the rate of 2 lakh crores, but there are some advisors who will have this particular thought process. Amit, everything all fine said and done, but my business is not happening. That means when you engage yourself in service, the rejection and dejection are the part of life. How many of you can realize this? Type in the chat box, I. But this is good till the time you have surrounded people somewhat like that who continuously tells, nothing, man, this is a part of life. But remember what happens with you when you are working and you are not getting results. And you can't share to your family, you can't share to your brother, sister, you can't share to your wife, you can't share to anybody. How many of you have been into that particular place? Type down the chat box, me. So I thought, what are the skills that I need to learn? So my mentor told me, Amit, you need to learn prospecting skills, you need to learn approach skills, you need to learn appointment skills, you need to learn fact finding skills, presentation skills. Right now, we are going to discuss on presentation. But how many of you can understand that this entire topic is interrelated? Type down a chat box, I. So somebody says, Amit, I want to go good in presentation. Remember, if you have less number of prospects, however good presentation that you have, and if that 5 people tell you no, you get depressed and frustrated. Objection handling skills, closing skills, technology skills. So then my mentor said, let's talk about presentation skill. And he said, the first thing that you need to do, that is, before giving a presentation, always take a detailed fact finding of the customer. Ask sequential questions. Okay. How many of you feel that client has a great potential, but we are not in a position to tap that potential? How many of you feel that? Type down in the chat box, me. Sir, I know client has a good paying capacity. The client is a great client. He has a great business. But at the same point of time, I'm not in the position to give him that kind of an advice which will treat me as an extraordinary advisor. Yeah, because there is a art and science of finding fact finding. Ask for family income, family details, expenses, risk profile, the current investment patterns, all these things, his habits, his hobbies, because this helps me to get interconnected to my presentation. Once the client, yeah, customer profiling, that's right. Fact finding, that's right. Once the client gives me a complete fact finding of the situation of his life, then the second parameter comes, that is identification of needs. Now, you have gone there to sell retirement. But if the retirement is not something which is there in the client's mind at that moment, do you think that he will be ready to listen to your presentation? Type down in the chat box, yes, no. In online methodology, we are attracting only that specific category of prospects. But those people who are working 24/7 with all different type of the prospects, you need that skill to practically understand each and every client in a different way. After identifying the need, then becomes confirmation of need. Whether I and the prospect are on the same page. It is acting like a thorough practitioner, like a thorough doctor who cannot prescribe the medicine before knowing the customer pains and problems. You know, the best part is when I joined, and the first 15-20 days was somewhat like that. After passing out the exam, the first thing was to get policies. So I used to go to the client and say, I've joined an insurance company, and can you just take one policy from me? Second approach, my company has launched a great product and probably this could be something fantastic for you. And I used to go with full excitement, and the customer used to, policy? I don't need it. How many of you have observed that? Type in the chat box, me. And that was the reason where I could understand that my approach was not going to the flow. Or very casual, we don't know how to start the call. So we wait for 10-15 minutes talking here and there. And after that, we say, sir, I came here for a special purpose. It is so difficult to express out to people because we do not have a start point. How many of you are like that? Type in the chat box, I. Because there is no methodology which is taught to us. Yeah, agenda should be established at the earliest. That's right. Power of sequential question. Reconfirming the entire journey. So in fact, let me give you a little bit of demo. Are you ready for a demo? Type down in the chat box, yes. If you're ready for the demo. Lovely. So after I learned the craft, I used to go to the same client with a different way. We should have a clear idea of what to discuss. Yes, that's right. But at the same point of time, I don't know. But then I go to the client and I say, right now I'm doing a special project on financial planning and I'm interviewing successful people, and I've chosen you for a small brief interview which will enlighten the world about how the financial planning needs to be done and what are the opinions that you have about financial planning. Is that great if I can just ask you 10, 15 questions from you? That was my start point. And then I used to say, this project is a very confidential project which will be actually compiled and there will be something created. And that's where I would like you to ask about your family, your income, your expenses, your risk profiling, how much is your current coverage, how much is this thing. If a need arise, again, if the need arise for a planning, what would be the first step that you would like to go ahead? Is it a retirement planning? Is it child education planning? It's a marriage planning or a health insurance or a protection? What is the sequence that you would like to do? Identification of need and then confirmation. That's really great. I understand that this is how people like you would definitely plan. Am I correct? He says, yes. So whatever I've understood from your interview is this. Yes. This is how you start. But you know what? When my mentor used to give me this, the inner voice of mine used to talk this. The inner voice, sir, prospect is not ready to me. Where is the question of asking these questions? My prospect, even after meeting me, does not give me this kind of time. Where is he going to give me all these answers? Sir is always say, I already have so many policy. Why do I need more? How many of you can realize these are the kind of internal questions that happen to us? Type down a chat box, me. Etc., etc., etc. Now, again, I would come to this. When I had these kind of question and I approached with my mentor, he said, Amit, see, practically listening, okay, practically understanding, all these things are always going to be there. Okay. So don't think that you are somebody who is special and all others don't get this. All others also get this. Now the question is, are you willing to practically play full on, or you still want to get into the same old story? What should I choose? Type down in the chat box. What should I choose? Should I go on the same old story or should I go full on? Just give me 1 second. So full on, right? A lot of people full on, full on. Thank you. And then he started something which I never had heard in any of the presentation. Are you excited to learn that? Type down a chat box. Yes. And I promise this, that the portion that I'm going to cover right now, you have never would have understood about it, most probably. So he said, Amit, always remember there are two sides of the brain. Number one is the left brain that talks about logical method, and right brain which talks about emotional method. Now remember, when we give presentation, there is a specific methodology to communicate to people. There is something that is logical aspect and there is something that is emotional aspect. Just the emotion do not work, just the logical does not work. You need to have a combination of both. How many of you agree with me? Type down in chat box A. And that's why we give good presentation with product. But when it comes to emotion, probably we have not incorporated emotions. Or we are talking emotional and probably we have not incorporated logical. Amit, what does it mean? Let me tell about it. Logical is about good product, good planning, good financial planning, good coverage, the tax planning aspect. This is all logical. Emotional. Have you planned for your luxurious retirement life? What kind of life that you would like to live? And how many of you can realize that this is a sequential question that needs to be understanding? Type down a chat box I. Emotional connect needs to be established. Yes, emotional connect needs to be established, but at the same point of time, we have to also talk about logical aspects. Somebody says, Amit, I already have a lot of insurance. Fantastic, sir. That's really great. Can I ask you one simple question if you don't mind? Yes. How much do you practically have? And this question puts the client into thinking. And when he's thinking, I have enough cases where the client has said, Amit, I have 5 policies. Fantastic. So what is the coverage? 5 lakhs. At that point of time, for a minute, I keep myself shut mouth. Client asks, what happened? He said, sir, I am actually confused. So what are you confused for? Sir, I am confused, sir. You are staying in a very high locality. You are driving a car worth rupees 25 lakhs. What is this 5 lakh actually going to serve to your family? I was very much surprised about it. What's your opinion? And that point of time, he suddenly shifts his mood and he says, that's right. In fact, I've never thought about it. Suddenly the question changed. The first place he's telling I have a lot of policies. The second, one question itself changes the entire perspective about it. How many of you can realize that? Type down a chat box, me. Now, there are 4 areas of holistic presentation. Now, this again is a very unique, different way. I want you to pay full attention on this. Number 1 is what impact does the insurance policy has in physical world of his? What is the physical world? Food, shelter, clothing. How many of you have seen people earning in lakhs, but their expenses are also in lakhs? Ultimately, they are left out with a very little amount for their savings. How many of you have seen that? Type on a chat box, I. And do you know one thing? If you go to a good client whose monthly income is 5 lakh and his income is his expense is 4.5 lakh rupees, he cannot save even 50,000 rupees. And that point of time, you propose him a big policy. He cannot accept yes or he can't say no, because in his mind, he is already a super successful in others' eyes. And he cannot let others know that I am a failure in financial planning. How many of you can realize this? Type down chat box R. So the concept to be discussed over there is basically about physical aspect. Second, emotional. What is the impact of not having a policy in the emotional life in case of any kind of death, disability, or loss of income? Emotional aspect. Third, mental area. What is the kind of stress level the person has as on today's period of time? And what do you think will be the stress level in the case if the person does not have a policy, whether he's alive or whether he's dead? For that, you should visit to a hospital and see those people who do not have a Mediclaim policy. You will realize the kind of stress level you will see on their face. How many of you can realize what I say? Type down a chat box, me. Go and speak to people who are retired, people who do not have any kind of retirement planning for their life, and they are dependent on their children for penny. What is the mental status that they are going through? Now, for all these kind of presentation, how many of you can realize that you can actually plan your presentation step by step if you master this craft? Type down a chat box, I. Fourth, and the most important, is spiritual aspect. Amit, what has spiritual aspect to do with? Always remember, when the person goes on above criteria, where, there is one theory which I have been covering into my presentation secrets module, which I'm going to launch today. In that module, I have completely covered about the Maslow's theory of hierarchy. How many of you have heard Maslow's theory? Type down a chat box, me. If you have not, typed on a chat box, no. Lot of people with no. And once you understand what are the requirements of presentation, 5 levels, yes. And that's where it's important. When the person is on the upper stretcher, he does not have any thought process of what if I die. That is out of question for him. So there, the policy methodology is completely different. Level of self-actualization. Absolutely right, Mr. Alexander. Alex, that's right. Now, how many of you can realize, I want you to actually do along with me, okay? There are 3 another super powerful tools for presentation. Type down a chat box, 3. 3 super powerful tools for presentation. One is what people see. I want you all to keep your fingers like this and point towards your eyes right now. What people see. I presume you all have done it, okay? Second, what people listen. I want you to put your ears to 2 fingers towards your ears. What people listen. Now, it's not what you speak, but what people listen. There's a lot of difference between what you speak and what people listen. How many of you agree? Type down chat box A. Now, how many of you could not realize this statement? Type down a chat box, me, be very honest. What people listen. Okay. So, I want you to understand a very small and a most important. Sir, your video is not seen. Everybody, can you all see my video? If yes, type it on chat box, AV clear. Everybody can see. Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So what is it that I'm talking to you about? Is having clarity of what people listen. Now everybody can see my video. Now, yes. Thank you. Chalo. Let's good. Okay. Fantastic. So let's start. Auditory. Okay. What people would love to listen. How many of you realize it's not about just speaking, but the tonality is important? If yes, type down a chat box, yes. Your tonality can actually drive people to altogether a different plateau. How many of you can understand this? Type down a chat box, I. Now imagine, I'm saying, please do not visualize the red apple. Please do not visualize the red apple. What did you all visualize? Type down in the chat box. I told you not to visualize, but you all did. How many of you can realize that this is the method of presentation? If your bulb is on, type down a chat box BO. Now, second example. There is lot of inner hodgepodge happening in the mind of the people. Okay? There is lot of hodgepodge that is happening in the minds of the people. When an insurance professional goes, already there is a barrier which is created. He is going to ask me about policy and he's going to talk me about savings, and I don't have a money right now. And what is all this thing about? It is, how many of you can practically understand this? Type down a chat box. So I need to understand that what is he listening? When I'm going for a presentation, is he listening to me or is listening to his inner voice? Now, lot of people, what is this inner voice he's talking about? I cannot understand what is the inner voice. How many of you have this question? Type down a chat box me. What is the inner voice? Why is he talking about inner voice? I cannot understand what is inner voice. The mind that is chattering to you, this is the inner voice. Everybody, can you relate to this now? Type down a chat box, yes. Who's the person with the who yet mirror time waste karega? Yes, absolutely. So now you know that he is going to communicate the same language when he's in his own mind. This is auditory. And the third is kinesthetic, what he feels. Now, how many of you can realize that if you are in a position to master all these things, you are in a position to give better presentation? How many of you realize this? Type in our chat box me. So presentation is not just about talking about policy, talking about the product. WAC learning method. Absolutely, it's a WAC. Now, I was always thinking about it. What can a successful person who wants to give a best presentation can do? And I'll tell you, if you master this, just this craft, you can actually communicate to any person on the earth if you know how to practically use it. How many of you getting something new typed on a chat box? A lot of people, right? Thank you. Now I know, with all these things, again, I had two options. When I heard to my mentor to do all this, everything is like that. As it is, I have no knowledge. No, my mind, internal mind, I had no knowledge. I had dreams to achieve. I had chosen the path to become successful. I had chosen the path to become the student of the subject. I did not have time to waste. The question that was there in my mind, that is, if I would implement, I can develop the skill to learn for the lifetime and earn for the lifetime. Set myself as a professional advice. Fulfill the dream of myself and my family. And the second option is to quit. 90%, 99% again would choose the second option, to blame, to feel helpless, to feel complacent, not to take the action mode, but practically, what would I choose? Type down a chat box. Yes, TTT is the best program everyone should attend. Absolutely. Implement. By the way, how many of you are like me who would say, yes, I would like to choose to implement? Type down a chat box. I. So, with all the fright in my mind, with all the fears in my mind, with all the challenges in my mind, I decided no matter what, I'm going to practice this. So I started doing meetings. Okay. And I started trying incorporating the presentation skills into the game. Are we ready for practical? Type down a chat box R for ready. Lovely. I'm going to give you 3 case studies, what I did to achieve results. With all the fright, okay, with all the kind of resistances, with all the kind of possible, all the questions, whether it will work, whether it will not work. And surprising thing, when I started doing it and I started mastering it, some worked, some did not work, but I got myself at the next level. So I went to one client, he says, Amit, I think I have a lot of time to save. So right now is the time for me to spend. I don't wish to save right now. I wish to spend right now, even though if my income is good. How many of you have these kind of examples? Type down in chat box. I have enough time. I don't need to plan right now. I will think about it later. What is so hurry? I don't need it. Lovely. So, one of the biggest, easiest way is to use props. Please type down in chat box props. Using props. So, one of my very good and very lovely prop is measure tape. Okay. So I went to this client and said, fantastic, sir. You don't practically need to save much. Let's understand how much time do you have to save. He said, okay. And I wanted him to say, okay. And I said, see, sir, as on today's period of time, your age is 40. A measure tape is there from 1 inch to 60 inches. Okay. Said, what is the active earning time? Said 60. So along with the measure tape, I always carry a scissor. So first of all, the extra piece over here I deducted. So now it is practically 60. Out of the 60, his age was 40. So by the age of 40, I deducted this. And I removed another 40 years. And I said, now you have only these 20 years which are remaining. Am I right? He said, yes. He said, fantastic. Out of this, almost 8 hours you sleep every day. That means for the next 20 years, 1/3 of your time is going to go in sleeping. We said yes. So 1/3 is how much of 20? Approximately 8 and 33. So I deducted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 33. So I again removed 1/3 of the portion and this was left out. I said, fantastic. So now out of 20 years, if I remove 833, so how much are you practically remaining with? Everybody type down in the chat box. Approximately 12 years. Okay. Approximately 12 years. So then I said, you work only for that 8 hours. Okay. Balance 8 hours, you do time pass. So there is no income generation activity. So that means 50% of that time is again gone. That means you are another left with approximately 6 years. Out of these 6 years, there are 52 Sundays. Okay. There are certain other areas that is there. Right. And all these things put together, there are certain holidays. There are certain times when you are not well. There are certain times when there are other things, blah, 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 blah. Finally, you have only 2 to 3 years to actually get that result for your life. Now, I want you to think everybody with your life also. Whatever age you are at, whatever income goals that you have for yourself and your family, you are left out only with this. And this is what is a presentation that is incorporating all the aspects: visual, auditory. By the way, how many of you are actually feeling there is lot and lot of things that is shaken inside you? Type down a chat box, I. My dear friends, after this presentation, if the client is convinced, you don't need to stress more on the product. The product will sell by itself. How many of you agree with me? Type down chat box A. There are many presentations. What is the connection with investment plan? When the client says, as on today's period of time, I have enough time for saving and I have enough time to complete my financial goals, show him that you actually have only this much of time to build whatever the assets that you want to create for yourself. So every time, every moment, every minute is important for taking the decision now. And for us also, for every minute is very important. If you waste a single minute of your life, we have to pay a very huge cost on this. How many of you agree? Type in the chat box I. Before presenting to the client, we have to do it for ourselves. Lovely, Mr. Srinivas. I would definitely appreciate this. Right? How many of you bulb on with your first presentation? Type in the chat box BO. Lovely. Thank you. Now, I want you to use another pop, magic bill. Most of you would have already heard about this presentation. I am sure that you would have heard about it, but are you using it? This is the question I want to ask. For almost everyone here, this presentation is again a great thing. A piece of paper, okay? Again, a simple prop. By the way, how many of you are realizing that while making a presentation, you use this kind of a prop, your presentation efficiency doubles and triples? If you agree with me, type down the chat box A. Now, the second area over here, that is up again a simple page. And this presentation I've heard from one of my mentors. His name is Rizal Naidu, a very great speaker and a very good mentor. This piece of paper, I draw a circle in between. Okay. And this circle is nothing but I. I means income. Whenever you meet anybody whose income an expense is on a tight condition, and you need to practically help him to understand that your insurance is very, very important, this presentation works. This is I for income. Now, when I meet any client, I ask him, do you think this income is important for you and your family? I want the same thing to be answered by you also. Okay. Now, my question to you, as if you are my client and I'm talking to you, I'm asking you, do you think that your income is important for you and your family? Please type down a chat box. Yes. So now I start with my description. Because of income, is there the first requirement of food that is getting to your family? The answer is yes. Again, coming back to the Maslow's theory, number one is satisfying the physical needs: food, shelter, and clothing. Okay. Now, I would have easily taken a printout and I would have showed it over here, but I am trying to just show you a live demo of the prop. Roti, kapda, makan. That's right. Because of this, you are in a position to give education to your family, your children, because of which you can provide for medical expenses for your family, because of which you can put your luxury expenses or a car or a holiday to your family. Because of this, you are in a position to provide any kind of emergency fund that is required for the family, and of course for any kind of any kind of small expenses. That means because of this income, you are in a position to suffice all this kind of expenses. Am I right? Yes. Everybody type down a chat box. Yeah. First is a physiological need, physical needs. The other is psychological needs. So the security needs. Now I ask, I've already asked about his income, expense, and everything. He says, I don't have money to spend for to save. Now I say, okay, fine. If suppose the government increases your tax, and he says that under no circumstances you can keep this extra 10%, you will have to compulsorily be uh, paying another 10% extra as a tax. What option do you have? Everybody, what is the option do you have? You will have to pay cutting expenses. Okay. Now I ask the client, this income is important for your family. Can this income be stopped at under any circumstance? Type down a chat box, yes or no. He said, no, income cannot be stopped. Income can stop because of two reasons. Number one is death. The first fold I make. Can death stop the income? And the second most important reason can be disability. Any kind of accident occurs, death, disability, disease. Now, during these kind, what is the possibility? The income is gone. I'm tearing this. But the expense are remaining the same. Is it a problem or a bigger problem? Everybody type down the chat box. I have an option. Now, when you give this kind of presentation, By the way, how many of you, while I was doing this presentation, could relate this to your own life? Type down a chat box I. Can you realize the power of presentation? Unfortunately, if this kind of situation happens, what is this? Is it a problem or a bigger problem? Bigger problem. What do you think your family would have to undergo? What do you think if this kind of a situation happens on the income of the main earning member of the family? What could happen? Can't imagine. Everybody type down in the chat box. Beg, stress, can't imagine. Load. I went through this situation. Beg, big problem. If I tell you there is a solution to this, would you be interested to know the solution? I told you that 10% if the government asks you, you are ready to pay. In that, just 10%, if God forbid something happens to you, whatever the amount is there of your expense, my company will come and stitch this over here with just that 10% of it. If that 10% is gone, within that 90%, you can fulfill your dreams. But if that 90% is gone, it will be very difficult for you and your family to survive. And that's why my demand is only putting 10% aside for the security, not for me, but for your family, because your family is fully dependent on you. Make sense, everyone? Again, let me make you remember. Physiology, are you in a position to add because you are activating the client? Eye opening? Yes. Very emotional? Okay. Everybody type down one word that comes to your mind after going through this presentation. Type down in the chat box. Let's understand. Scary, status, statue, effective, empathy, great, need to secure my life first, thought provoking, impressive, attractive, eye opening, reorganize, great. Now, let me share you one simple another one which can be easy to talk with anybody else. Life is like a file of ifs. Yes. Now, let me give you another last example, and after that, I'll share to you the secret of success, how you can take this entire thing forward. Ready for the third presentation? If yes, type in the chat box, yes. Now, again, I have two pieces of paper, assuming these are checks. Okay, these are checks. So, I'm writing over here 1 crore. And on the other piece of paper, I am writing 50,000 rupees. Okay. One is 50,000, other is 1 crore. Now I tell, out of this check, if one check, you have to keep it to yourself. Which check will you choose? Type down the chat box. Out of these two checks, if one check, we have to keep it to yourself. Which check would you choose? 1 crore. And out of these two checks, if one check you need to hand over to me, which check would you choose? Type down a chat box. Lovely. Thank you so much. This is what me and my company does. I give you an assurity of 1 crore rupees to your family in case of any kind of adversity against the check of 50,000 rupees that you give me every year to protect you and your family. Very simple presentation. If the bulb is on, type down a chat box, BO bulb on. No. Fantastic. That's right. So now, how many of you can understand the power of presentation? And if you learn this skill, it can take your business to the next level. How many of you agree with me? Type down a chat box A. So from a long period of time, I wanted to create this solution for each one of you. And finally, the day has come today where I'm going to launch this particular thing for you. Bulb burnt. Fantastic. So now there are two parts. These are just the trailer. There are two parts to it. Do you give me permission to share you the parts? If yes, type in the chat box. Yes. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So after about 20 years of whatever I have learned from all various mentors and the kind of dream and aspiration that I have to create a university for insurance professionals so that we can help you to make you reach at a next level. And thereby we decided to create this particular module for you and your growth. And this module is nothing but presentation secrets. Okay. Now, before even I go in the detail, there are two areas to look at. Number one is to always choose the road of comfort zone of blaming yourself, situations, circumstances. And the other area is to go deep dive into these kind of presentation that can actually help you to grow your income. And that's why this particular path is created. Before even entering into it, how many of you would like to choose the path of courage of learning? Type down a chat box I. Lovely. Fantastic. Because if as on today's period of time, these few presentations were just a sample few presentations which I have tried to incorporate into this presentation. Okay. This presentation secret, what will it do to your life? First is enhance your confidence of your presentation. How many of you would love this? Type in the chat box, love. If these kind of concepts can be actually given, like it's like a selling like a pro. How to use magnetic presentation. These are all come in the category of magnetic presentations. You magnetize the entire audience while you are doing this. There is a framework of presentation, and what are the principles I've covered into it, and 30 plus presentations using this kind of frameworks. How many of you think that if you are in a position to get master with these 30 plus presentation, it can actually bring a great income to your life? Type down a chat box, me. To support this, the second module I have added over here, that is mastering this with the help of a checklist. Amit, I know presentations can be done, but there is a framework to practically do something. First is your entire preparedness. Second, consistent messaging so that you perfect the craft so that wherever you go, you are in a position to master this craft. Adding a professional image to yourself. How many of you could find measure tape cutting or this kind of a prompt was engaging your visuals? Type down a chat box, I. So how can you practically use this engagement modules with this? Confident delivery method. Now, if you practice a kind of a presentation with a specific checklist, and if you are regularly practicing it, you may require 100 presentations. But once you have perfected the craft with 100 presentation, how many of you think that the rest of the life you will be into that category of a magnetic presentator? Type down a chat box, me. So a lot of people, they tell me, Amit, when you talk, it really, you, from where do you bring these kind of an ideas? And that's where I tell, it is not just a 1 year game, it is a regular practice. And our intention is to help you to reach at that particular stage. I want to actually invite you to award you for your performance. Okay. I want to create that atmosphere where we are all into a community whereby you can progress step by step to achieve a crore of premium in next 3 years period of time. How many of you are ready to work on that path? Type down a chat box, me. What is the framework? Finding the history. What is the fact finding framework? How do you practically ask questions so that the client does not feel pressuring, but he feels happy to give you an information? That's a special module which is created over here. That is fact finding secrets framework. Offer the best solution as per the need. So you don't oversell or undersell. It's like a perfect professional pro practitioner. After completing this module, you have that kind of confidence that yes, you are like a doctor consulting to the client and not just like a salesperson who is selling this. And of course, one more thing, that is product mix. Lot of people were asking me, Amit, how do I understand about how to create a magnetic product for the client? And after giving that presentation, you'll also have to give them products. And there are 6 different types of the product. If you understand how the product ratings are done, you are not dependent on insurance companies to create product. You can create with mixing of different products so that it becomes as a tailor-made presentation as a pro. How many of you would love to get through this? Type in the chat box, I. Entire combo. Yes. Lovely. Thank you. So coming put together, I plan to do all these things with a price point of just 9,999 plus GST. But all these 4 modules at 9,999 plus GST. But before you make the payment, I would like you to ask one question. Is it worth that this skill would make you earn lakhs of commission, not just once, for the rest of the life? How many of you find that 9,999 plus GST is worth? Type it on a chat box, worth. Correct? Great. Now, I want you to think in that perspective. Now, all the questions in your mind will start bombarding. Gosh, I need to invest at 9,999. Should I? Shouldn't I? Is it for me? Will I be in a position to do it? I don't have money for investment. Should I do it or no? I'll do it later on. All that kind of question will start propping in. How many of you are actually feeling this kind of questions in your mind? Type down a chat box, me. Be very, very honest. And you all know very, very clearly that I don't do sales. I don't like to do practically push sales. I want you to make you realize, see your inner voice at this moment period of time acting against your wishes. How many of you can realize the power of your inner voice? Type down a chat box, I. This is what you need to practically master. Once you master this art of, practically how I want each one of you to put a hand like this. And I want you to use these fingers on your palm and shake your 2 fingers. See, this is what your inner voice does. It keeps on continuously chattering. Your task is to stop this. Type down a chat box, stop. That's what you need to do to your mind when it comes to your path of success. You have only 2 choices. Either you will keep your inner chattering active, or you will listen what is required to be done for your success path. Second question, how many of you think it would be worth if you come into that 1% of that pro category who dare to dream big? How many of you would like to be into that worth category? Type on chat box, worth. If it is worth, if it can help you to reach at that pro category. Remember, world is always looking forward for those people who have extraordinary methodology. That is why the old unchanged concept are out of the market. Now, the third and the most important thing, if this skill would make you fulfill all your dreams of your life, of yours and your family, how many of you think 9,999 plus GST is worth? Type down a chat box, worth. By the way, let me just tell you one thing. If you sell one extra policy of 1 lakh rupees premium, you earn 30,000 rupees. And not only 30,000 rupees, you earn another 5% of renewal commission that works out to be 9 years at least, that becomes 75,000 rupees. How many of you can understand that at least one extra policy can be sold out of this kind of magnetic presentation? Type down a chat box, me. And you know what? Even after telling all these things, my dream is to help you to reach at a next level. And that's why for just today, right now, for you, you don't have to pay 9,999 plus GST for all the 4 products for the next 15 minutes. By the way, you are going to get the access of this course by Monday. This is still right now. I'm tweeting a lot of things so that I can add a lot of value for you. For the next 15 minutes, the clocker I'm going to start this time. For those people who are very, very serious, the fees over here is not 9,999 plus GST, but just 4,999 plus GST. You get to the excess of the courses for the rest of the life. One more good news is you are also going to, there is one workshop I'm making on this 4th, 5th and 6th, on this next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You will be in a position to participate, whether you are new, whether you are silver member, whosoever it is there. Along with this, there are a lot of things that you are going to get along with it, so you can make the right now. Me GPay reached maximum limit today. Can I make the payment by 12 midnight? Jayashree madam, please get in touch with Keyur at 77150. So make the payment right now for the next 15 minutes. This is there for you. So just click at this particular moment. And in any case, you have any kind of questions, you can ask me at this moment period of time. Let me start with the timer and make this particular decisions for you so that you can take this thing. GPay, yes, GPay number is just give me 1 minute. It's 93240 42752. Please ensure you will be getting the access of the course by Monday. What is the timing? This is a pre-recorded course. There is no live session on presentation module. The live session, which is going to happen on next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is for silver members, as I'd already discussed with you. And those people who are going to be there in this presentation secrets, I want to give you an extended support where you are going to practically get this thing. I have to deposit cash tomorrow to my account. Harishji, please get in touch for any kind of questions to 77150 What you can get right now is to please speak with 77150 and reserve it. I am not going to allow the same type of pricing tomorrow. So ensure that whatever it is there, let me put a 15 minutes of the timer and let me just close the link by that time. So some of the decisions which I want to just share with you, which we are practically done. Srinivas Kandi, congratulations. Where can I share the screenshot? Please share the screenshot on Keyur. Which number do you want the screenshot? Please share out over there. Which number is there of yours that you would like to have? Yeah. So one thing which, I would like to share some inauthenticity, which up till now, I wanted to share this thing with you. Lot of times used to happen when I used to say, we are not going to take this. And the next day also, we used to keep the same pricing on. But henceforth, we are very, very firm on this particular thing that whatever we say, we do. I was some or the other way finding the inauthenticity for those people who are making the payment. And after that, the next day also this thing was on. So we want to be very, very clear with this, that we are ourselves, upgrading ourselves with, let us, yeah, please share the screenshot at 9819389051. What is the amount? It would be, I think, 5899 with GST. That's right, sir. It is 5899. Yes, absolutely. It is 5899. So click the link, register it right now. And once you make the payment, type down a chat box, I am in. And I would like to personally welcome to the dedication that you have shown of getting yourself in that specific 1% of the category. So click the link and register. You have another 13 and a half minute. I just paid. Congratulations, Ramesh ji, for being over here. Sridhar ji, congratulations for being in. Yeah, GPay number 9324042752. What is the fees for silver membership? Silver membership is 9,999 plus GST. That works out to be 11,799. Coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what course would be taken? Coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be a implementation week, and that implementation week is specifically within, uh, which is going to be for prospecting, appointment, approach, your sales presentation, sales closing, objection handling. All this put together, I have specifically prepared it so that you get a lot of value in the month of March. I want you to welcome you with a trophy. Once you do 1 lakh rupees of just as a premium, I would like to welcome you for a trophy which will be sent to your home once you confirm with us that you have done with 1 lakh rupees of premium. I want to keep that stage on for you so that you have an inspiration to reach at the next level. Will I get the intimation on my mail, or you will get, Rameshji, once the entire thing is done, you will be getting an intimation. You might have already got the screenshot. You will be getting the mail of the prospecting secrets course access by Monday. Yeah, Satish K, congratulations. I will be definitely announcing the names of the participants whose payment is done in a while once the clock hits at 0. Okay, I will be practically announcing. Till that time, uh, ensure that you make the payment. Once you make the payment, type down a chat box, you are in, so that I can personally welcome you till the time. Sneha, congratulations for being in. Congratulations to you. Fantastic. And the best thing is not only this presentation, but you are also going to be attending along with me on this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to be the part of it. Congratulations, Sri Vanavasji. Congratulations, Ramnathan sir. Fantastic. Here is the payment link. Ensure that you are there in and be there. Payment made. Congratulations, Vinakshi Nathji. Congratulations, BRM, SRM. Congratulations. K. Thomas, congratulations for being in. Narayanji, congratulations for being in. Fantastic. Rajalakshmi Madam, GPay number 9324042752. 9324042752. Fantastic. And that's what it is, for life. Some bold decisions required needs to be done, just because at the end of the day, what is great about our human evolution is we are ready to take risk for taking the life at the next level. And that's what is more important. And playing that game with full authenticity is something that we want. Fantastic. BVLN, congratulations for being in. Payment made. Gyan Rajan Patnaik. Sorry, if I'm misspelled, I'm sorry. Yagna. Congratulations. Muninji, congratulations for being in. Next Saturday, Sunday, I am on a pilgrimage. I am afraid you will do not miss Meenakshi Nathji. You will be getting the recording since you are my diamond member. You're my gold member. You will be definitely getting the recording. I will ensure. My objective is to help you to reach at this recognition level. So whatever amount that you are investing into your education gets absolutely free for you, and the knowledge stays with you for the rest of the life. That's my commitment for you. And that's why we run communities. We don't just sell courses. We run communities basically to support you to stick around in this atmosphere, which can help you to take at the next level. Sir, is it for the lifetime? That's great. Absolutely, Sridharji, the course access is there for the lifetime to you. Fantastic. That's really great. Congratulations. Another 9 minutes to go for all those participants. Payment done by my friend Jitendra Yeswal. Sarika, please ensure that you share the screenshot with your details at the number which is given. Thank you so much, Sarika. Thank you. Fantastic. That's really great. Jai Shri Madam, congratulations for being in. Fantastic. And that's what, I really appreciate. And I would thank each one of you for taking this particular leap of faith on your business. Okay. And yes, there are certain surprises which I have not told you. There are a lot of inputs which I have created inside that module, which are ready made for you, so that you just have to implement for it. Okay. I'm trying to create that kind of a situation whereby you get lot of things which are easier for you, and you can, where can I share the screenshot? Kayur, can you just please share the number once again? Can schedule of the meeting intimated in advance? Uh, Please ensure that this is a pre-recorded course. At the same point of time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is an extra session which I would like to offer as a special support to you for growing your business. And my promise is that if you attend this 3 days and if you implement what I tell you, you will be in a position to recover your money like anything. That's my promise. Fantastic. Rachna Madam, great. Congratulations for being in. So another 7 minutes for you all, for those people who are actually wanting to go for it. Muninji, the 3 days is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, GPay number 9324042752. 9324042752 is the GPay number. Lovely. That's really great. Fantastic, fantastic. Anybody, any questions still here? If you have any kind of questions, you can ask me right now at this particular moment till the time we are going through it. Let me open up timing 4 to 8. Yes, 4 to 8, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And please do I have the number of my team also together with you. Glad to be a part of this new course. Thank you so much, Alex. What else, sir? I'll attend for it. What else will I attend for this? You will be attending along with me on this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sir, at what timing on Monday? Monday, regular timing. Mondays are all different. Silver members, your entire things are Monday. That I take it live. So you have to practically be there on these live sessions. Fantastic. Another 6 minutes to go for all those participants who are yet not on the verge of completion. Ensure that you are there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it will be recorded. If I'm traveling on Sunday, it will be recorded, but the records are given only to silver member at this particular juncture. Okay. So if you are a silver member, you will be getting the recording of the course. If you are not a silver member, you will not be getting the recordings of that course. Yes, Alex, you will be getting it. Sir, any weekly meetings will be there. Sneha, weekly meetings Monday. If you are a silver member, you will definitely get. This is a specific course which is there. Right now, we have not had any kind of interaction for weekly meetings. In future, I may open up. I'm not giving you any promises at this moment. But yes, who is a silver member? Silver member is basically those who are in my online insurance sales community. Okay, they are silver members. And yes, I am in a silver membership. Fantastic, Sudha madam. Congratulations. That's really great. Lovely. So, yes, anybody, any question till that time, you can ask. And let me now just pull up the sheet of where the all names I can recognize. I'm a silver member now, also gold member. Will I get the recording? Shiba sir, absolutely yes. You will be getting the recording of the course. But I'll tell you, don't wait for the recordings, because these 3 days are going to be like a complete shift in your entire business. How to get silver membership? Harish ji, please speak with my team at 77150 89051. Will I convert to silver later? Silver, the fees is 9,999 plus GST. That's a separate charge that you can definitely talk to my team. Sir, what are the timing on these days? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. is going to be a live sessions where you are going to be there along with me for these 3 days, where you're going to practically do active working along with me. In this 3 days period of time, I am going to make you to do some assignments whereby if you fix up your 5 to 7 meetings, you are in a position to encash whatever money that you have paid along with us. Recording will be given only to silver members, Sneha. Great. And I assure you one thing, my dear friend, those who have been there in the community, you all know very. Sir, can we claim these as professional expense in return? Absolutely, yes, you can claim this as professional expense. Please ask the receipt from the team and you can definitely get it. Sir, I paid 5899. What is the duration of the meeting? You are getting pre-recorded courses with the course access will be given to you on Monday. You can have the view of the course any time period of time. Okay, so you can definitely get a recording of prospecting secrets. The meeting which is there on this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's a live meeting which you are going to be there along with me in this particular process. Lovely. So let me just now uh, call on for the names of the participants where the fees has been received. Just give me 1 second. And by chance, if it is a GPay, it will not get reflected over here, but I will definitely confirm to you on that aspect also. Give me one moment and let me just pull up the sheet. I have paid. I don't know where to share the screenshot. Please get in touch with 7715089051. 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's right. It's 15th, 16th, and 17th. So, Shruti, congratulations. Your payment is received. Alex, congratulations. Your payment is received. Rachna, madam, congratulations. Your payment has been received. Jayashree, madam, congratulations. Your, no, Alex, just a minute. I think there is some, uh, just give me 1 second. Let me have a filter on this. Oh, okay. Shruti, your is done. Alex, some or the other way, I think your payment has got failed. Just check. Rachna, madam, congratulations. Your payment is received. Jayashree, madam, congrats. Mohanji, congratulations. Muninji, congratulations. Rajalakshmi, madam, congratulations. Uh, uh, Jagyana, congratulations. Swaminathan sir, congratulations. Tanuja Shetty, congratulations. Ramnathan sir, congratulations. SRM, congratulations. Thomas Lazer, congratulations. Ranjit Chaudhary, congratulations. Satish K, congratulations. Ramesh Bhalerao, congratulations. Narayan Biruri, congratulations. Srinivas ji, congratulations. Yes, these are the payments which I have received. And if it is on the GPay, I'll have to confirm in a separate one. Just give me 1 second and let me just check it on the GPay too. Yeah, GPay number is 9324042752. Sir, I had done the payment. Yes, BVLN. Yeah, it's there already. It's already received. Yeah, for GPay, just give me 1 second. Let me just re-verify the GPay. Rajya Lakshmi madam, congratulations. Your payment is received. Yeah, so 15 minutes are over. Rajya Lakshmi madam, your payment is received. Meenakshi Nath Pillai ji, congratulations. Your payment is received. And yeah, these two are the payment on GPay. If anybody else would have done, lovely. Uh, so you have a huge energy, really great. Thank you so much, Rameshji. It may really means a lot. My the only thing that I have here, that is intention to serve you to the best of my knowledge which I have. Sarika, uh, just give me 1 second and let me open another tab and see. Just give me one moment. Yeah, please share the screenshot on the above given numbers, and definitely you will be incorporated into it. And any which ways, you are all the part of my team, so you all have a complete clear cut access, know how about where it. Sir, my payment has got been returned and not been returned and successful. No worries, Alex. Don't worry at all. If my records have been showing here and there, you are very well aware that we will get in touch with you any which ways. Uh, Sir, in 2021, I achieved TOT, but I failed in 2023. But in 2024, I want to achieve again as TOT. Lovely, fantastic. That's really great. Shared already a screenshot. That's really lovely. So let's wind up. Thank you so much. And we'll get in touch. In case you are not being able to get in any kind of an access, please note down this number of 7715089051. Get in touch with my team and we'll be in a position to help you out. Thank you so much and bye bye. God bless. All the best. Thank you. See you then in those silver members on Monday night. And till that time, bye bye and all the best.